Hey, you guys, it's Brandy Chanel. Welcome back to my channel. So, listen, we're going to get into Married at First Sight Season 14, Episode 1 review. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, you guys. So, listen. Married at First Sight was so long. That thing was 3 hours. Like, I could not when it got to the part of them meeting up with each other and looking for wedding dresses and all that other stuff. I kind of tuned out a little bit. So some of them parts I'm gonna have to gloss over because it was a whole lot. I'm gonna try to say as much as I can within 30 to 45 minutes. I might take a little shorter than that because that I might have to do a live the next time. I think I might have to do a live on this show the next time, but it was just too damn long. Like this show could have literally been an hour and a half. They could have took out all of them meeting up and stuff like that. They could have took a lot of that shit out. Okay, they could have took a lot of that out. We didn't need to see them talking to each other, getting to know each other. That could have been condensed within a few minutes, and then they could have moved on to them get married. Like, I would have liked to see another couple get married this episode instead of Lindsay and Mark crazy asses. Okay. Speaking of Lindsay and Mark, honey, so let's go ahead and get into it. We meet Lindsay and Mark. Mark is telling his best friends that he's about to get married in 2 weeks. So the episode opens up with everyone telling their people that they get married in 2 weeks. Okay. He tried auditioning for Married at First Sight before, but he didn't get it. He's someone who feels like after 6 to 8 months, you all should be talking about marriage and y'all should be moving in and things of that nature. So he's somebody who does not let nature take its course. He's somebody who's he's a little bit controlled in that area. He feels like, as within a year, y'all should be getting married. And I think it's because he wants it so badly, right? He has 3 cats. His dad passed away and his mother is in a rehab because she cannot take care of herself. And then we meet Lindsay, who's also telling her dad and I think her brother, that she's getting married in 2 weeks. She was supposed to get married a year ago, but her fiance called it off. She is a caretaker. She comes from a divorced, family. Her parents split up. She does not have a good relationship with her mother. She has not spoken to her in 3 years. And her family describes her as having a strong personality. Let me tell y'all, I'm rooting for Mark and Lindsay. I am definitely rooting for Mark and Lindsay because of their personalities. Like, Lindsay is a lot. Lindsay is energetic. She's hype and all this other stuff. And I think he's kind of the same way. We find out that they both love cats and love animals. The fact that she's a caretaker and he's taking care of his mom is a plus. So I'm kind of rooting for them because their personalities, even though it's a lot, I think they are perfect for each other. Now, on Married at First Sight, these people start changing up down the line. But I'm actually rooting for them because I really like their personalities. They're a lot. They're definitely a lot. So, child, let's get to Katina and Alajuan. Child, I don't know that man's name. Alajuan tells his family, that he's getting married in 2 weeks. They're at a barbecue. He said he took some time off to work on himself for the last couple years. He's a cheater. He has a history of cheating. He has an alter ego named Isaac. He's a mama's boy. He's a mama's boy. He wants a traditional wife that can cook. He says if she can't cook, she's not a wife. Listen, this little boy is a red flag. He's a red damn flag. Okay, he has a history of cheating. Let's go ahead and say that. So that's red flag number 1. He's a mama's boy. Red flag number 2. And he thinks that women should cook. She's not a wife if she can't cook. No matter if she got a job, okay, she can have a job, she can make six figures, she can literally be highly educated, beautiful, everything, but if she can't cook, she ain't a wife. Let's go ahead and go over to Katina. Katina tells her friends that she's getting married. She's used to be a party girl. She has been cheated on multiple times. I guess one relationship she was in for a year and found out he was in a relation. He had already been in a relationship for 9 years, and it was the same thing with another man who had a baby on her. Her father has been incarcerated from the time she was a toddler to her adult years, and she hasn't been in a relationship for 3 years. Listen, I don't know about. I can just tell that Katina and Aljawan, whatever his name is, I can tell it's gonna be some mess. I can already tell it'll be some mess. Listen, y'all. If me and my husband, we do not have kids. We don't have kids. I know how to cook, but I feel like if I have to work and contribute, I shouldn't have to cook all the time. Like, he knows I know how to cook. He knows that. He's had my cooking. We've been married for 9 years, but it wasn't a deal breaker that I didn't cook every night. Especially when you got shit like damn DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff like that. Like, you ain't gotta depend on me for no food. Shit, I'm not depending on you to pay these bills. So, okay. So I just feel like this whole, and he's young too. I think he's like in his 20s. So for him to be in his 20s and still have the mentality that he has, that he wants a traditional wife who, if she can't cook, that's a deal breaker. But yet you have the history of cheating. So yet someone with trust issues is going to have to trust you not to cheat. And judging from how you behaved at the bachelor party, I just don't see it. I don't see it. As a matter of fact, I think he probably was dating a few bitches before he came on this show. And Katina, she's a beautiful woman. She has a lot of weave. She got a lot of weave, but she's a beautiful woman. She used to be a party girl. So I'm kind of like wondering how this is going to work out with their past. Like, he has a history of being a party, if you go on a partying, and she has history of partying. So are they going to be able to be settled down? Like, what happens when one of them in their mind is settled down and the other one is still wanting to party? Like, how is that going to work out? But y'all, I don't think so. I just don't think so with them two. So we met Noy and Steve. Steve is meeting his family at a restaurant or something like that, and he tells them he's getting married. He's very outgoing. He took a trip down south, so I think he was some type of engineer, and they did like this big layoff, and he decided to do like a little round trip. And I guess they call it backpacking, where you just pack a bunch of stuff, you live out your car, and you go from state to state or whatever the case may be. He comes from a big family. They all have, his siblings all have families of their own. And he's not working right now. Noy is telling her friends that she's getting married. She met a man in Bulgaria and she met a man in the UK, and none of those relationships worked out. Okay. She was born in a refugee camp, and at one point her family lived in a one-bedroom apartment. Her parents still stayed married through all that. So I guess her thing is, if her parents, went through what they went through and can still stay married, then she feels like, whoever she matched up with can get through it, I guess. Okay. I didn't really get anything from Noy and Steve. Steve seems pretty, he seems outgoing, but yet he seems very mild mannered. He don't seem like the type that's, I guess he don't seem like a big personality. That he just seems very meek, mild mannered, quiet. And Noy, she has another side to her. So at one point she put on some wig and she started dancing. So she has kind of this partying side to her. I don't know about them. I mean, they didn't really keep me interested throughout the show, to be quite honest with you. It was them and someone else that didn't keep, and another couple that didn't keep me interested, really. And we'll see. Like on Married at First Sight, they seem cool at the beginning, but then as the episodes get, go by, they seem crazy as hell. Like old boy and what's the girl name from last season? What's they're Hurricane K? Yeah, that girl. I was so rooting for her and old boy, but then when her ass, he was fucked up too. Like he was fucked up too, but she crazy. I said, girl, you don't need to get married right now. You don't. You need to be in somebody's therapist chair, getting all your anger and frustration out, because you can't bring that back in no other relationship. Okay, this ain't even got nothing to do with them. Let's move on. So we meet Jasmina and Michael. Jasmina is telling her family that she's getting married. Jasmina has been in two serious relationships. One man, he wanted to, I guess, sow his wild oats and then come back to her, and then that didn't work out. And the other man had a baby on her. So that wasn't Katina. That was Jasmina who was dating someone who had a baby on her. She has 9 brothers and sisters, but she don't know all of them because her mother left her, when she was very, very young. Her dad remarried her stepmom. They got a divorce, and then he went to Jamaica, and her stepmom ended up, getting custody of her and her sisters, and she remarried. Um, then we meet Michael. He's telling his sisters that they're getting married. He's lost both his parents and a brother. He says the reason why he has never been in a successful relationship is because he'll find fault within that person and he'll cut it off. Like when he's basically, when shit get tough, he'll find something to kind of nitpick about, and then he'll just cut it off. So I'm really I have hope for Jasmina and Michael. I think they're gonna be the ones that I watch the most. I think Jasmina is drop dead gorgeous. She is beautiful. I am a little concerned because I think they have both experienced tragedy, the loss of parents, and well, her parents didn't die, but that's still, to me, that's a loss when your family just up and leaves you and just leave you with someone. I feel like that is a loss. So they both have some deep rooted issues that they need to get through. Um, Jasmina seems very serious. Like she seems like the type that's gonna take marriage seriously. And Michael gives me the impression that once shit gets tough, he's not gonna want to stay and work it out. He's gonna want to leave. He's gonna nitpick something about her. And I think because she's been hurt in the past, she's not gonna stand for that shit. But I'm hoping for these two. I am keeping prayer for these two. I'm rooting for these two. Like I really want them to work out. Okay, so we got Alyssa and Chris. Y'all, I really don't even remember Alyssa and Chris. We got Chris who tells his mom that he is getting married. I think this was the guy who, told his mom this was a real estate show, but it really wasn't. He grew up in a single parent household, so that's what made him become the success in real estate. Alyssa is telling her family that she's getting married. Her last relationship, he basically came home and, they were together for a while. Then one day he came home, he told her not to cook dinner because they was breaking up. And that's really all I got from Alyssa and Chris. They seem kind of boring to me. Like I don't, they might, heat up later on, but they seem kind of boring to me. It didn't seem like a whole lot there. I For some reason I don't feel like they're going to work out. I don't think so. She seems very that well, then again they might, because they both seem very reserved. They both seem very relationship. They want a long relationship. He was in a long relationship for 3 years or something like that. And I think she was in her long relationship. So they're both people who seek long relationships. So they might work out, but like I said, we don't never know with Married at First Sight. So everyone meets up, right? Everyone meets up. Now, this is where I started going in and out. Like, this is where I started going in and out because all I really remember is them talking about Elijah. I think that's that man's name, Elijah. They were saying, he might be an issue because of his history, his past, right? And I remember them also talking about, what's his name? Michael. Yes, I remember also talking about Michael and saying that Michael, kind of making fun of the fact that he nitpicks at some of the women and, kind of, I guess brush them off or kind of runs them off or whatever the case may be. I also remember them, kind of saying how beautiful, Jasmina was and things of that nature. I also, a lot of them all agreed that Lindsay was a lot. And Lindsay is a lot, but I like her. I like her personality. She need to calm down 10 notches, but I just love her personality. And I feel like her personality mixed with Chris, what that man name is? Mark the Shark. Yes. I feel like their personalities is gonna be a mess. I feel like it's gonna make for good TV. That's what I think. So they all agreed that she was a mess. Not a mess, but she was just a lot, and it takes a lot to be her friend. Um, I also think that she also cried because a lot of them were saying that, oh, I told my mom, and they all said they had a good relationship with their mom, and she kind of cried because, of course, she doesn't have a relationship with her mother. Her mother belittles her, and listen, at a certain age, if I don't care who you are, okay, good thing I have a good relationship with my mother, but I don't care who you are. If I'm calling you and I'm reaching out to you and you disrespecting me and you're calling me out my name and you're not supporting me, then I don't want nothing else to do with you. I don't want nothing else to do with you. Yeah, mama, daddy, sister, cousin, I don't care, baby. I don't want nothing to do with you. You're not finna sit up here and talk to me any kind of way. So that's what I remember from the meetup of everyone. That's all I can remember. Because like I said, this show was 3 hours. Okay. Some of this shit they could have took out. Mark and Lindsay looking for a tux and a wedding dress. I thought that the wedding dress that Lindsay picked out fit her personality. I think it was like a lace floral A-line dress, and it was beautiful. It fit her personality. And Mark, he picked a traditional black and white tux, and I thought he looks good in it. Michael is looking for a suit, and his friends are kind of talking to him, and they're saying that their concern is he gets frustrated. When he gets frustrated, he gets shut down. And you cannot do that in a marriage. You cannot. Okay? Like, you can get frustrated, but you need to go in a corner, calm yourself, collect yourself, and you need to come back and talk about it. And they're worried that he may not be able to do that. Jasmina, she picked a beautiful mermaid dress. I liked the first one better than I liked the second one. I think she chose the second one, if I'm not mistaken. I liked the first one first. I without the little sleeves that she had. I thought the that one would have been the one that she picked, but she ended up picking another dress, which was beautiful. She looked beautiful in it. It was just a little bit too plain for me. It looked, it came down to an A line. It came down. It was like a mermaid dress. So it came down and then it had like a lot going on at the bottom. Which, I mean, it was okay, but I think I liked the first one. But regardless, she looks beautiful. So now we're at the bachelor and bachelorette party. So that's another thing. They only did 2 couples. So I guess the next episode, before them other couples get married, they're gonna, I guess, continue to do some more stuff. I guess they're gonna continue to show the wedding dresses. Okay, so it is the bachelor and bachelorette party, and Elijah one is he partying. Like, that's the only person that I can really see was that may be potential issue. Like, listen, I'm not opposed to the bachelor and bachelorette parties, but it's how you conduct yourself. Okay, he up here, he about to get married, right? He's about to get married. Okay, and he up here taking his clothes off. He's swinging it around. He dancing on the strippers. And these strippers are not A1, honey. They just look like some strippers here in Killeen, Texas. Like, there is definitely not Atlanta. Okay, so I'm just like, he was just doing too much, what lets me know his partying days may not be all the way out his system. And we got Lindsay over here. I'm telling you, it was Lindsay for me. This whole episode, it was Lindsay for me. Lindsay over here drinking, getting lit. And then Alyssa, she over there not really saying nothing, not really doing nothing. That's why I'm really not interested in her storyline that she may have with oh boy. I'm not really interested. I mean, we'll talk about it, but I ain't really interested. I'm only really interested in those three couples. That's um Mark and Lindsay, Elijah Wan and Katina, and Mark and Jasmina. No, Michael and Jasmina. Yeah, those are the only couples I'm really interested in. Them other two couples, they just not giving what it needs to be gave. At least at this first episode, and they may give us something later on, but they weren't giving us too much. Okay, so then it's the wedding day, and the only couple that's really getting married, who we see get married, is Mark and Lindsay. So Mark is, everyone is getting ready. Lindsay, she's doing the most, just doing the most. She got on her dress. She's on her way to the venue. She just drinking champagne, just she is just chasing them down. And I understand she was probably nervous, but I'm like, girl, like I'm gonna need for you to like kind of calm it down just a tad bit, boo. I'm gonna need you to just bring it on down. She get out the car, she wobbling, she's somewhat drunk, she burping, and it was just, I was like, girl, I'm gonna need you to get it together. I do want to mention that Mark, while he was getting ready, he called his mother. Is it just me, or did Mark's mother just seem kind of dismissive? Like, he's a, hey mom. She said, what? Bitch, what? Like, y'all been talking forever. She just said what? And to me, it's like, I know that's his mother, but he's currently taking care of her. So it's like, why? Like, why? Like, why? Like, I'm getting married. Why can't you be excited for me? And then she was like, well, why couldn't you just do this the traditional way? Like, it hasn't been working. So, like, to me, I don't know if I can put my hands in I can put my hopes and dreams on these experts, because they don't have the best, they don't have the best track record with hooking people up with the right person. But I would have, I just feel like, she was very dismissive. She wasn't supportive. And that's kind of, I feel like, he wanted to express how hurt he was by that, but that's his mama. So I guess I get it. But that was kind of fucked up to me. I don't know. That was just kind of fucked up how she was dismissing him. So they ended up getting married, and they're talking, and I'm just like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? Like, their conversation's going good, and they're vibing each other, but she's just, her energy level was like up to here. They figure, they like cats. She has 2 cats and he has 3. She finds out that he's taking care of his mom, and she's a caretaker, so she loves that. It was the wedding that I expected from those two because of their personalities. They have some really magnetic personalities, and we'll see as the season go. But I thought this was a really good first episode. I just thought it was way too damn long. Like, y'all didn't need 3 hours. Like, you didn't need 3 hours. I thought like an hour and a half, maybe, but 3 hours? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Don't do that no more. Don't do that no more. But y'all let me know down in the comment section how y'all felt about this first episode of Married at First Sight. Like I said, I thought it was okay. It was just too damn long. I thought it was okay. I am rooting for, I think the only couples that I'm really rooting for is Jasmina and Michael, and Mark and Lindsay. Elijah Wan and Katina, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. He's a walking red flag. The other 2 couples, I really don't remember. I don't remember. They really didn't have too much going on. So that's about it, you guys. That's my review. It didn't take as long as I thought it would. But that's my review on Married at First Sight, season 14, episode 1. Without further ado, toodles.